Oh, what do I say about this?
There isn't much to say about it.
What's lovely is the inside.
Oh yeah.
I'm struggling with that, mate. Really struggling with that.
Hi, welcome back to the Kit Breakdown. Today we are going to be comparing one of the biggest, most important football federations in the world. In Italy, we'll be comparing their kit with some of the much smaller countries. Obviously the likes of Switzerland wouldn't necessarily consider themselves to be a small nation, but certainly compared to Italy they are. But we've also got one here that is literally and figuratively a much smaller country, so we'll be reviewing that one too. So I was going to review this replica Italy shirt, but I am biased, having designed Italy shirts in the past from 2004 to 2008. So instead I'm going to pass this one across to you and I'll sneakily grab the Swiss one instead.
Oh, wow, okay. Right, so this is obviously the replica kit. What do I say about this? It's pretty straight up and down. Not a massive fan of it, if I'm really honest. It's okay. I think all the colours kind of match up nicely, although the mesh at the side doesn't really. But I've not really got too much to say about it, to be honest.
There isn't much to say about it.
No, I quite like the stripes over the shoulder, the fact that the red, white and green is quite nice. We've talked about what they've done with from the authentic to the replica and this little detail there, but yeah, it's pretty average, I think. Much like their team at the minute.
Yeah.
So, yeah, not really got
Not
much
super
to say about
impressed
it.
there.
No.
Well, I did mention the Swiss in the opening. Something that I do like on this kit is the way that they've used the colour blocking Puma this time around. And they've used it across all their national teams, and it works better on some than others. With the Swiss one, seeing it with the dark red shorts, it really kind of works well down the body of the athlete, whereas on some of them it's a little bit mishmash and there's too many colours going on. So it doesn't feel like 80 quid's worth of football shirt.
I'm struggling with that, mate. Really struggling with that.
You know, it reminds me of perhaps some of the shirts that we were doing initially when I started designing Puma kits 20 odd years ago. Even down to, it's got the cat embroidery on the sleeve, which just still feels like it always has done. It's a little bit sparse in terms of stitches, and
I'm just not a
think
fan of any of the Puma kits at the minute.
Nah, there's just so much more value that can go into them, and it just doesn't feel as thought through and considered as you would hope.
That arguably looks like a team sports kit.
It does feel like a team sports
kit. Not a fan
kit.
of that at all.
I'm not entirely sure if this is the pro version or the replica. It's certainly got authentic licensed football on it. If anybody knows, and you can tell us in the comments, I'm thinking this is going to be a replica because of the amount of embroidery on it.
Yeah.
But even so, don't love it. I think if I was a Swiss fan, I'd probably be wearing one of the old shirts to the tournament rather than this one.
Yeah, definitely. One that I do quite like though, Rob, is the Danish kit from Hummel. I think that's lovely, and I actually quite like the fact that the fabric almost feels like it's like a circa 80s type of fabric, and it works really well. But what's lovely is the inside.
Oh yeah,
where they've got the print, which is just really nice. We'd need to check what that's all about.
Let's take a look. I can imagine my Danish is probably better than yours.
Yeah, really smart, and I think it probably talks into the heritage and the history of the club and their fans and all that sort of stuff. But I think it's a really nice little touch.
It actually appears to be, I would guess, the name of every football club in Denmark.
Yeah, it's really smart.
Because it's got some of the bigger ones in there. And then it's got like Copenhagen Beach Soccer Club.
Yeah. I mean, there's a cultural reference point. I think that's really quite clever.
Brilliant. The idea that all the clubs are the federation, whatever level they're playing at.
Yeah, exactly.
Really, really nice.
But I think that's a lovely, lovely kit. It's pretty straight up and down, but it works really nicely. And it's got like a real kind of vintage flavour to it. I really quite like that.
Yeah, which I mean, Hummel have got the right to do that because that was exactly what, back in the 80s and 90s, that's what they were doing.
Yeah.
So,
Quality.
love
that.
the Hummel one.
So,
And
what's
then,
this obscure one you've got?
The obscure one from Kelme is Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Wow,
so
that's interesting.
A country that hasn't qualified for the Euros. Perhaps a lot of people won't even have seen this kit. Thanks to Jerry at Subside Sports, we were able to get our hands on it because he manages to get all the kits that are nigh on impossible to get elsewhere. I think with a nation like Bosnia, they would tend to kind of be low down the pecking order of a bigger brand. And then what we have seen is that the national teams that don't end up with a technical sponsor tend to then be picked up through the relationship between UEFA and Macron, who've done a really good job. But in this instance, it is Kelme that have taken it on and have a relationship directly with the country. And for me, I do quite like it. I think I like the graphic within it, just the fact that it's thought out from a Bosnian perspective. I think if I was Bosnian and wanted something to feel proud of, then the fact that it's got the detail in it certainly feels a lot more thought out and more attention paid to it than the Switzerland kit that we've got here. I don't love the graphic, but I kind of at least feel that it's integrated and it's thoughtful. I do like the way that they've applied the Kelme logo. It's a bit three-dimensional on the top there. We've got the back neck label that features the details within it. We've got another detailed, almost hologrammed thing there. And then the end of the sleeves are bonded as well, which I wasn't really expecting within this. So good quality, flat lock stitching around the sleeves, really nice. So I don't think it's ever going to win any kit awards, but I think as we've said in previous seasons of the show, it's really nice to just see some of the smaller clubs and countries that they're not up there competing for titles, etc., but they're still important to the people that support them.
Oh God, yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Carry a Bosnian passport. So for me, I just feel really good that Kelme have put so much effort and attention into a shirt that a lot of brands perhaps wouldn't have bothered to.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah, we'd love to know your thoughts. Typically, you would expect Italy to have had the best shirt because they're the big country,
Definitely
but
not.
actually what we've seen here is that it's two of the smaller brands with two of the smaller nations, certainly in terms of the number of shirts that these countries would sell, that have climbed to the top of the table for us. Do you like this Bosnia shirt as much as I do? Are there any other smaller countries around the world who've got amazing shirts? I know in the past we've looked at countries like Thailand, for instance, and seen that they had something great. What else is there out there that perhaps we could have a look at next time? So do let us know in the comments. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the Kit Breakdown.